All right. Evan, thanks for joining me, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So those of you that don't know, Evan is in Ohio, in the Akron area, and he's got a couple of cool things going on. But I would love, before we dive into that, I would love to hear what was life like, or business like, I should say, because life could be like super broad. We don't want
Right.
to get super broad. How was business prior to Axiom? How was it going through Axiom and then kind of afterwards? Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So there was no business really before Axiom. I analysis paralysis type of deal. I'm big on call it YouTube University.
Oh, yeah.
I love YouTube. I still do. You know,
Sure.
so I was kind of just doing a ton of research and no action. And it wasn't until I got an Axiom to where I started slowly kind of figuring out how I wanted to market and run my business, and
Yeah.
finally feel like I'm starting to get some traction, and this next campaign have everything more organized. So hopefully this that traction keeps going.
Sure.
But yeah, well, didn't really have much, but definitely helped me organize everything and really be on the right page. So
Totally. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember we met in Ohio when I was down there for the boardroom event, and you had like joined like 2.7 minutes ago.
yeah,
Like,
I had no clue what I was even talking about, but I was like, I didn't even know you guys were even in my area. And then I was like, oh, well, I gotta go. So I got to at least show up. So I showed up, met everybody, which was cool. But now I actually kind of have an idea. I remember the first conversation I sat down, like they were using all the real estate terms and stuff. And I'm just like, I've
I have
heard
no
it.
idea.
I don't understand it. So yeah, but that's the main thing I've noticed, just relationships, and
Yeah.
everybody's still super cool, and you know got to know everybody, which is great. So
Right. And that was February, and we're in the beginning. It is July 7th.
yeah,
So it's only been a few months, and
yeah,
you went from like, I have no idea what you're talking about, to now you have two deals that are, well, one that's closed,
one is
and
closed.
then you've got a duplex that
Yeah,
you're
I've got
closing.
yeah. So yeah,
Tell me a little bit about the wholesale deal, and then tell me a little bit about the duplex.
yeah. So the wholesale deal was doing my marketing. I actually had in 1 week got 3 properties under contract.
Wow.
So that was big. But 2 of them are a package deal. I'm still working that one out, but the one it was a flip deal in the Akron area. I showed up and I saw the neighborhood. I was like, not a high end neighborhood or by any means, but you could tell a lot of the houses on the street were like rehabbed or at least
Sure.
new sidings. The neighborhood looked nice, and then it was the perfect like wholesale deal. I was like, well, this house needs flipped, and so I ended up jumping right away. I didn't even have a buyer. I really just wanted to jump right in because I knew it would be a good deal in
Sure.
where we were talking with. So we got the contract for very low, but there was a lot of taxes. I think 6,000 in taxes. So kind of had to sort that out, but it was really good to learn how to negotiate. And I actually my next campaign I'm focusing a lot on tax liens because it's
Nice.
easier to negotiate.
Sure.
At least for me, I think the negotiation's a little easier.
Nice.
And you know exactly what they're going through. So so that one ended up getting under contract. Flipper went and liked the deal and went and made the move. So that one just closed. And then either actually probably today or tomorrow, I should be closing on a duplex I bought. So I'm gonna start house hacking. I'm renting out the other half, and I'm planning on then saving right up for the next one and doing it a couple times to build a small portfolio of duplexes and then kind of take it from there.
Sure.
So did one wholesale and one kind of long-term rental.
Yeah. That's huge. That's huge. And I think that's awesome that on the wholesale deal, you're like, I didn't even have a buyer, but you went from like, I know nothing to now I know that this is a good deal.
Right.
And in that short, I mean, just cause like we've had calls together and like, we're in the group together and like, I've seen your action. Like you went from knowing nothing to like diving in and like learning from as many people as you could. And then, like you said, finding deals or I should say talking with sellers, and they weren't necessarily deals yet. And it was like learning what made a deal, what didn't make a deal in your specific area. And then you got to a point where you're like, wow, I can look at that and know that I can sell that all day long.
Right. Yeah.
It's
So
huge.
it's nice to finally have, figured out. And I just started becoming a lot better. Like I think we mentioned, with my running comps, because I know the area very well. And I know in my head about what, retail value or just looking at the house, kind of what it should be at, but getting better at running exact comps. That's helped a lot. But I learned, through Axiom and the questions I can ask. I mean, you can just throw something into the group. I mean, and it gets answered by multiple different people, multiple different ways to answer. That way you're not
right.
You get an answer, but you can also get more from it, like open-ended stuff to where you can kind of gather from different people and put it all together. So it's
right. You can see different perspectives and different markets, because
right.
sometimes things are different depending upon markets, and you can kind of get a feel for what's out there. Like, what are the options? Yeah.
Right. Yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, I'm super excited for you. And the work that you've been putting in has not gone unnoticed. And obviously it's working, because shoot, stuff in the pipeline and deals closed and another one closing. And I think the duplex closes in a week?
Yeah. Like
something like that.
Well, possibly today or tomorrow, actually.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So, yeah. So.
And man, shoot, we still got 6 months left in the year.
I know. Right. We'll have to do a follow-up.
Absolutely. I agree.
Plan on blowing up here, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Well, based on what you and I have been talking about, it's coming, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Well, I'm excited for you. I appreciate you taking the time to just kind of share just a brief snippet of your story. And I know people really value that. I did want to mention one other thing real quick for those that you don't know, that he is a first responder and has 2 jobs. So on top of all of this, first responder, 2 jobs, both are in the first responding industry, if you will.
Yeah.
So the dude's busy. Like, and so for anybody that thinks you don't have time, here's the example of someone who has no time and is still making it happen.
Yeah, you just gotta think of the end goal.
Yeah.
Work pretty hard now, and it's it's something different. So it's easier. Right. I come home and my relaxing is, researching and looking at comps and all
learning,
that.
So
just getting well versed in everything. So still learning every day and just not staying complacent. Keep that pedal to the metal and keep on going. So
I love it, man. I love it. We'll keep it up. We'll be definitely doing more follow-ups. Thanks for inspiring others, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. I'll see you.
Yeah.